been in the news recently over questionable content on some user-created subreddits. We met up with Reddit's co-founder Alexis Ohanian. Alexis is now an advisor for travel site Hipmunk, as well as the founder of Breadpig, which makes geek swag and gives proceeds to charity. He was fresh off the Internet 2012 bus tour, a campaign to promote internet freedom. So we asked Alexis about Reddit's roots, success, and controversy, and why having open internet matters for everyone. Here's what he had to say. We're here with Alexis Ohanian, co-founder of Reddit and more recently Hipmunk. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so first, you launched Reddit in 2005. What were you expecting it to become, and how has it differed from reality?
You know, Steve Huffman and I, when we started Reddit, we could not have expected 7 years later the President of the United States to come on and do an Ask Me Anything interview. In fact, we couldn't have expected most of it. We just wanted to make a place to find out what was new and interesting online. And where so much of the growth has come has been from Reddit as a platform, where people who want to create a community about corgis, which is a great subreddit, by the way, or a community about the environment can create one and then all share links and have discussions there. So no, we did not at all expect anything like this.
So on the topic of subreddits, Reddit has gotten some attention, particularly recently, over some of the more controversial content that circulates. How do you feel that that component has contributed or not contributed to the popularity of the site?
Well, statistically, the unsavory stuff represents less than 1.5% of Reddit. It's a very, very small portion of it. And you know, one of the things that I think we all need to look at with regard to sort of all of social media that gives really anyone with an internet connection a voice is how we behave. Whether or not, you know, I do believe the majority of people are good. That's evidenced by the fact that the vast majority of communities on Reddit are wonderful. What we need to do as people, as good stewards of this technology, is figure out just sort of a kind of etiquette, a kind of guidelines. I don't know how these are codified, but it's frustrating because whether it's Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, all of these platforms have really given us so much power that a very small percentage of people are sometimes misusing for unsavory things.
One of the things you've been involved in recently, for example, the bus tour, it has been the topic of openness on the internet. And for those of us who have not been following the issue that closely, what would you say is at stake for the average American?
Wow. Well, the thing we learned on the Internet 2012 bus tour was that going from Denver, Colorado to Danville, Kentucky, there are Americans everywhere. Literally every American we met was for internet freedom. And what I mean by that is freedom for an entrepreneur to know that she can go start a startup from her cafe down the street, as well as freedom for any American, who wants to, better themselves, whether they want to learn a new skill on Skillshare or sell some crafts on Etsy. They want this internet to be a level playing field where all links are created equal. This idea that where we can create an environment where the best ideas can win is one that's ultimately going to benefit all of us. And for a while, I think we saw during SOAP and PIPA, a lot of politicians did not understand that. Maybe they didn't understand the internet,
right.
But they didn't.
A series of tubes.
Yes, or a big truck, right? These are unfortunately the quotes that we heard, and that's changing now. And so why we wanted to do this bus tour was because we wanted every elected official in America to know that their constituents, whether they were thinking of doing a startup or simply wanting to sell their crafts online, they all cared about the open internet, and hopefully make it something that every politician cares about as well.
And that is an excellent note to end on. Once again, we're here with Alexis Ohanian. This is Annie Gaus for TechFeed.